Hey Leah, can you do me a favor?
Sure, Andrea. What did you need?
Could you get married and start having kids, like, right now?
That's not the kind of favor I was expecting.
But I really need you to do that for me. I mean, I am not interested in having kids anytime soon. That means if you don't get married before too much longer, your mom is gonna start getting all over my case about giving her grandchildren.
I suppose I can understand wanting to avoid pressure from your mother-in-law, but I don't really have any plans on getting married in the near future. I'm pretty busy at my work, and I genuinely enjoy what I do, so I don't feel the need to go out and get married. If Mr. Right comes along one day, I'd definitely be interested, though.
Yeah, I guess people as poor as you can't really afford to take time off work, can you? I don't know, though. If you ask me, a woman is happiest when living off the income of a wealthy, handsome husband.
That might be what you find fulfilling, and if it is, then I'm happy for you. But not everyone thinks the same way as you do.
Oh, it's okay. You can be honest with me. We're sisters after all.
Sisters-in-law, that is.
Right, sisters. Now, listen, sweetie, you might think right now that you're going to be young forever and you have plenty of time to get married and settle down, but one day you're going to wake up and poof, you're old and no man are going to want you anymore. So I don't think it's a wise move to be so lackadaisical about getting married.
Life does come at you pretty fast.
Oh, and while we're on the subject, I wanted to make one thing very clear. Even if you don't get married, I do not want you to be constantly coming around begging for handouts from us. I am not a charity. I am not a bank. I am not an ATM. I am not a money tree. Got it? You're gonna have to support yourself.
Okay. I wasn't exactly planning on doing that, so thanks for the heads up, I guess.
Yeah, I was just saying. I thought it would be best to lay out the ground rules. As long as we're on the same page about that, then everything's fine. Okay, that's all. Good luck, Leah.
Yeah, thanks. Good luck to you too, Andrea. Hey, Andrea, we just got to your house. Are you guys home? I've been ringing the doorbell and the lights are on inside, but you still haven't answered the door.
Oh my god, you mean you actually came? I don't believe it. Learn your place, peasant.
Huh? Did you just call me a peasant? What are you talking about?
An affluent family member builds a new house, and right on schedule, along come the high school dropout rejects looking for a piece of the pie. I'm terribly sorry to have to inform you of this, but this is an exclusive establishment for only elite guests. The entrance fee is $30,000. Either pay up or get off my property. Well, what's it gonna be? Are you gonna pay or not? And just so you know, if you don't pay up, you're never allowed to speak to me or your brother ever again. Honestly, I never saw you as family in the first place anyway.
You want to charge us a $30,000 entrance fee to come inside the house? That's a joke, right? Please tell me you're joking, because if you're not, then whoa.
Why would I be joking? I have to keep the riffraff out somehow, don't I? And high school dropouts are a level of riffraff all to themselves. You are beneath riffraff. You can't expect me to play nice and act friendly to you when I know you're just here to beg for money. And besides, anyone who's worth the time would have no trouble coughing up a measly $30,000. But I'll bet you and your dirt poor mom couldn't even get a bank to loan you $30,000. Ugh, I hate poor people like you so much.
Okay, this joke has really gone too far. It's not funny anymore, Andrea. Open up. This is my house.
Really? Really, Leah? You're so pathetic. You can't just go around lying and saying that someone else's house is yours.
If you're looking for the liar, that would be my brother. I, however, am telling you the truth that he apparently must not have let you in on.
Yeah, sure. It's your house, right. Is this your idea of a joke? It's not funny.
I don't know what else you want me to say. It is my house. I think I see what's going on here. I've been noticing that you've been letting your real personality show more and more these days, and now everything is starting to make sense. All right, that settles it. I think it's time I took back what's mine, meaning specifically this house.
Are you drunk or something? You and your mom are both high school dropouts, and you expect me to believe that you have the kind of money you'd need to buy a house as awesome as this one?
I did drop out of high school, but that's not where my educational history stops. I dropped out so I could enroll early into medical school. I graduated with a PhD in medicine when I was 20. If you're only aware of that first portion of my school history, that must mean my brother has been doing a bit of abridging when he talks about me. It doesn't surprise me. Trying to make me look worse is the only way he knows how to make himself look good.
I don't believe you for 1 second. You're an idiot, aren't you? You can't get a PhD at 20. There's no way. You'd have to be a super genius. So what's the deal? Are you working at a hospital? You clean the bathrooms or something?
Yes to the first question, no to the second. I'm a doctor.
You're serious?
Yes, very.
Oh. Well, in that case, come right in. Geez, to think I had the complete wrong idea about you all this time. You should have said something sooner. A family of doctors, isn't that something? Did you and your brother always plan on going into the same line of work?
It seems you're under an even greater misconception. My brother isn't a doctor.
What? He's not?
No, he's not a doctor. He's a nurse.
But what does that mean?
It means exactly what I'm telling you. He's a nurse. He tried to become a doctor, but he couldn't pass the exam to get into med school. And for the record, it's only by my mother's graces that he's even allowed to do that.
Wait a minute, this can't be right. You mean your brother isn't actually a doctor?
Yes, for the umpteenth time, he is not a doctor. Unfortunately, my brother lies like he breathes, and typically in ways that make himself look better. Plus, he's always had a massive jealousy complex regarding me, considering I've succeeded in everything he's failed. I'll bet he thought he could get away with lying to you since we never really had much of a relationship. Really though, he had to know you'd find out eventually. Unless you're an even bigger idiot than I thought.
Hold on, so you're seriously serious? Seriously? He's actually a nurse? But nurses and doctors have way different salaries. Like, it's not even close.
I'd say nurses get paid pretty well, but yeah, doctors do get paid more. What the real problem is, though, is that my brother has absolutely no work ethic. Everything from his knowledge of technical terms to his bedside manner is atrocious. The only reason Mom lets him keep his job is because he's her son. But his pay is permanently stuck at the lowest possible wages. It wouldn't be fair to all the other nurses to pay him more.
So that means what you were saying before about the house, it's true?
Yes, it's mine. It's kind of a long story. You see, my brother has always hated me ever since we were kids. He was always teasing me, yelling at me, threatening me, and just in general being a foul little wretch. I eventually got so sick and tired of dealing with him that I moved away and started working at a different hospital. That's how badly I wanted to get away from him. He knows that too, and yet even after I moved, he would always come over to visit my mom's house when I came. I had enough and told him to knock it off. That's when he made his proposal. He said that if I bought him a house of his own, that he'd never speak to me again. He'd never even come to visit my mom at her house again.
That's insane. You were actually willing to buy him a house to get him off your case?
It probably seems odd to you, but you have to understand, my parents always spoiled him rotten. And I thought, if this was a way to finally have him out of my hair for good, why not? It wasn't going to take me that much time to make all that money back anyway, so I decided to buy the house for him and see how things went after that.
That is the single most 1%er phrase I've ever heard. You bought him a house because it wouldn't take that long to make the money back?
You think so? I guess I have worked pretty hard to get to where I am. I missed out on the high school experience to go to college early and everything, so I spent my weekends studying rather than hanging out with my friends.
Man, that's incredible. You're super cool after all. Hold on, I'll be right down to the door to let you in.
I know what you're thinking. If she bought him a house on a whim like that, all he has to do is cause trouble and she'll give him even more.
Oh, don't be silly. It's not like that at all. It's nice to have such a wealthy person in the family, though. So while we're on the topic, I do have a favor to ask of you. Do you think you could give me the $30,000 I asked for earlier? I didn't think you had enough when I asked you for it, but now I know that you shouldn't have any trouble at all coming up with that much. Consider it a housewarming present.
Why should I give you a housewarming present when I'm the one who bought the house? If anything, you and my brother should be giving me a present.
But we're like totally broke. Plus, I'm a housewife, so it's not like I can make my own money. And we're family, right? Families help each other out when they're in need.
You told me earlier that if I didn't give you $30,000, then you would never allow me to talk to you or my brother again. And you know what? That sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
Come on, don't be that way. If you're not careful, your brother might just come around and start messing with you again.
Nah, I think I'll be fine. It seems like he'll be too busy for the foreseeable future to mess with me. I think this is a great time to cut off ties with both of you.
What? What are you saying, Leah?
Where is my brother right now?
He said he was going out shopping earlier, so I would assume he's at the store right now. But come to think of it, he's been gone for a while.
Ah, I see. Well, my mom and I just got a call from the hospital, so we need to head over there. We'll continue this conversation later.
You're going to the hospital? What for?
You'll find out soon enough. Hey, Mom, are you doing okay? Have you calmed down a bit?
Yes, dear, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. That boy, I suppose this is what I get for spoiling him so badly up until now. I know you've had to put up with far more of his shenanigans than I have, Leah, and I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, I have had to put up with a lot.
You were always just so talented and successful that somewhere deep down I felt sorry for your brother. For what it's worth, I loved both of you equally as my children. My intent was to have you help me out in reining him in a bit, but it's clear that I went about it in the entirely wrong way.
Mom, I really don't like to lay down an ultimatum to you like this, but I can't deal with him anymore. If you cover for him today, then I'm never speaking to either of you again. I have worked so hard all my life to earn everything that I have now. Meanwhile, he's in the position he's in right now precisely because he has never put in an honest day's work in his life. He even tricked his wife into thinking that you and I were high school dropouts, and now he's gone and done something like this. It's obvious that he thinks that he can get away with anything.
Leah, I am so sorry. This is entirely my fault. You're exactly right. You've worked hard and done right by our family. And now he's gone and betrayed us. I won't stand for it. All the blame for the monster he's become lies with me. I'll take care of everything, so you can go ahead and do whatever you feel is right.
Thanks, Mom.
Leah, you have got to help me. You heard about what happened yesterday, right? This is not my fault. You get that, right? I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I heard. And yeah, you aren't responsible for it at all. But at the same time, we've been making all sorts of new discoveries about both of you over the last 24 hours. So you can't really say that you're entirely innocent either.
Yeah, I know, I screwed up. I can own that. But your brother, what is wrong with him?
Ironic, isn't it? You were both secretly betraying the other's trust. Not that it's any problem of mine, however.
Your brother is in deep, Leah, really deep. But I'm nowhere near as screwed as he is. My only problem is money. And you have a ton of money, don't you, Leah? So come on, can't you please throw me a bone? We're family, aren't we?
We already went over this yesterday. We aren't family anymore. Family isn't someone who you can call on whenever it's convenient for you and use as a punching bag the rest of the time.
But think about it from my position. I would never have expected my husband to have an affair with a patient at the hospital. And not just any patient. A married patient whose husband is a frickin' loan shark.
It's incredible, isn't it? Even for him. My mom and I were both completely flabbergasted by his indiscretion. What makes it even worse, though, is the fact that my dad did the same thing to my mom. He'd left us for another woman, and my mom had to raise us both all by herself. My brother was old enough to understand what was going on at the time, so my mom believed that he would never do that sort of thing. This whole thing is a big shock for her. And then there's the matter of her husband. Right as he is to be angry at being cuckolded, he had nothing to gain from storming into the hospital, fists blazing.
If you think you're shocked, imagine how I feel. He always told me that he never wanted me to come to the hospital where he worked. He said it was because he wanted to separate his personal and professional life. But now I know that he really just didn't want me to find out he wasn't a doctor. Not only that, he was putting the moves on his own patients.
Yeah, if that's what he was getting up to, I can understand why he wouldn't want his wife coming by the hospital. My brother has always been a dirtbag, but I had no idea he was this big of a scumbag. Apparently, he won her over by telling her that he's just a nurse for now, but one day he's gonna take over his mom's position at the hospital. Can you believe that woman actually believed him? What an idiot.
That creep. That disgusting little vermin. He cheated on me. I'll never forgive him for this.
Yeah, I would understand how you feel and maybe even side with you under normal conditions, but really, are you in any position to be getting so upset at him? You're the one who's been gambling away every cent you can get your hands on, and when he wasn't bringing in enough money, you went and borrowed a ton of money from a loan shark.
But can you blame me? I'm just a housewife. I needed some excitement in my life. Plus, he told me he was a doctor, and I believed him, so I figured that we wouldn't have any issues paying it off. Well, for a while, he was actually pulling in a good amount of money each month. I had no idea he was really just a nurse the whole time.
Yeah, that's because he was coming around and demanding money from our mom every month. His excuse was that it's our mom's fault that he's not as smart and successful as I am. It's not fair. She's my little sister, but she makes more money than me. How pathetic. And it's also partially my mom's fault for enabling his behavior by giving in to his whining. All she cared about was that giving him money got him off her case for the rest of the month.
Yeah, and I didn't know about that either. He told me that was all his salary from work. He never told me his mom was giving him the money.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. My brother lies like he breathes, after all. Really, it would surprise me more if he was telling you the truth about anything.
So don't you get it now? I'm totally a victim of your brother's lies. It's not my fault.
Not so fast, Andrea. You two eloped, didn't you? You never even met my mom before you got married. If you had done things the good old-fashioned way and talked to her first, you probably would have uncovered his lies. But no, you decided to trust his every word without any verification at all. All I can say is you're getting what you deserve.
Come on, you can't really think this is my fault.
Sure I can. You even believed his stupid lies about himself without ever asking us if they were true. All it would have taken is one single conversation with us to ask us about our lives, and you could have cleared everything up. Then you might not be in the awful position you are right now. Not only that, you trusted him so much that you were willing to borrow a lot of money from some bad people because you thought you could rely on him. That's an awful lot of trust to place in someone without verification.
You're right. You're totally right. But fortunately for me, you have all the money I need. If you'll just help me out with a little bit of money, then my problems will be solved.
That's never going to happen. You've been nothing but demeaning and rude to me until yesterday evening.
Yeah, well, that's because I didn't know the truth about you.
I'm not just talking about that. I'm saying that you're plain and simply a bad person, rotten to the very core. I don't feel any compulsion or desire to lift a single finger to save you from yourself.
How can you say that?
Because I'm never going to speak to either you or my brother again. You're dead to me.
Do you really mean that?
Of course I do. Back when we were kids, he would rip up my essays on the day they were due. He destroyed jewelry and clothing that I got from my boyfriend. He cut off a bunch of my hair while I was asleep on the living room couch, and he's even pushed me down the stairs a few times.
What? He's really done all that stuff to you? What is he, some kind of psychopath?
I had to be careful for when he was in a particularly bad mood, because there was no telling what he'd do. I did my best to be out of the house whenever that happened. That's the reason I studied so hard to become a doctor. I wanted to get away from them. But as long as I associated with my mom and my mom was associated with him, I was never going to be totally free from him. However, it seems like my mom's patience has finally run out. If she cuts ties with him, like it looks like she's going to, then my nightmare will finally be over.
You can't do that to me. After what happened at the hospital last night, I got a phone call from the guy I borrowed money from. He said that if I don't pay up today, I'm gonna get kidnapped. I mean, how does that sort of thing happen? My husband slept with the wife of the guy I owe money to? He's really, really mad at both of us. I wouldn't be surprised if he does the same thing to your brother that he's gonna do to me.
Wow, really? Man, that would be a literal dream come true for me. Could you give me your loan shark's number? I'd like to give him a phone call and tell him to be sure to do all the cruelest things he can think of to you two.
Don't even joke about that. My life is on the line. He might just do that, you know. That's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah, and you knew about that when you borrowed money from him, right?
I already told you. I thought I'd be able to pay it back right away. Your mom just called me a little while ago, too, and I got screamed at yet again. She says she's going to fire your brother, so I'm not going to be getting any money anymore. What am I supposed to do now?
There is this one thing that I suppose you could do, but I don't think you have much experience doing it.
What is it? I'll try anything.
Okay, if you're sure, you need to get a job. Either work for somebody else or work for your loan shark. I think you'll prefer the former greatly.
Okay, there is no way I am gonna do that. I'm not cut out for work. I'm a homebody.
Yeah, I'll bet you are. You were really getting on my nerves the other day with your whole "a woman is happiest when marrying a rich guy." I'm not knocking the married life. I'm sure it's great, but I am doing just fine by myself, thank you very much. Meanwhile, what do you have going for you? You were acting all high and mighty because you got married to a rich guy. Well, guess what? He's not rich. He's dirt poor. So now you're left with absolutely nothing. No rich husband, no money, and no work prospects. How happy are you feeling right now, Andrea?
You don't have to keep rubbing it in like that. I know I was wrong, and I'm sorry, so please forgive me. I thought I was going to move into my brand new house with my rich husband and live happily ever after, and now that's all gone.
But it was a pretty good show. I felt like I was watching a real-life soap opera yesterday. I opened the hospital doors, and there, in front of me, is my brother getting the snot beat out of him by a mobster, and you just watching helplessly, mouth agape. You managed to stop the onslaught by both coughing up every single cent you had on you at the time, but man, it was really satisfying to watch.
Please, Leah, I am begging you. You have to help us. All we need is a little money and everything will be okay again. Please.
I spent my teens with my nose in a textbook and my 20s working 14-hour shifts at the hospital to make my money. If either of you had ever put in an honest day's work, you'd understand why the answer is no. Good luck paying off your debt by working for the mob. You'll need it. Since the house was mine, I naturally intended to have them evicted, but it seems the friendly boys with the local mob saved me the trouble of going to court. The next day, I went down to the house to check it out, and the two of them had vanished. I heard later that the last anyone ever saw of them, they were being dragged onto a fishing boat headed out to sea. I guess they decided to go on a little fishing trip. Maybe they'll, take a nap with the marine life while they're out to sea. You get the picture, right?